Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video, which I am going to show you how to make a simple Christmas decoration. I love this time of year, making the house look really festive, and one of the things that I love to do is use things that I've gathered from the garden over the summer months and dried. So today I'm going to show you how to make a decoration where you've used a recycled jar, use some ribbon to make it nice and decorated, and then you've got some sparkly alliums and teasels and arnagaum, which we've gathered from the garden once they finish flowering, and sprayed silver or gold for Christmas. To make our Christmas decoration, we're going to need to gather a few things together. So I've got some ribbon here, it's 2-inch wide. Some of the ribbon I've got is burlap ribbon with a pattern on it, a nice silver and gold snowflake pattern. And then I've got some plain burlap ribbon which I can attach some decorations to. So I've got some nice wooden Christmas trees and some nice wooden snowflakes here. You're also going to need some scissors for cutting your ribbon, a hot glue gun and the glue sticks. You're going to need some recycled glass jars and some dried flowers from the garden. And I am using today some alliums, and I've got some arnagaum and some teasels as well. And you're going to need some spray paint to spray your dried flowers. This is what your jars will look like once you've decorated them, ready to fill with some sparkly sprayed dry flowers or some fresh greenery from the garden. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get your recycled jar, and this can be any size that you like. You'll have lots in your house, I'm sure, from cooking. Give it a good wash and then choose the ribbon that you'd like to put on it. So today I'd like to use some sparkly silver burlap ribbon, and I need to measure around the jar just to see how much I need to cut off. So measure around your jar like this and make sure you leave a wee overlap at the back for gluing it together. And just cut that off there. So we'll take our scissors and do that. Once you've got your piece of ribbon, you'll need to take your hot glue gun and you'll need to plug that in and heat it up. And remember to do this a little bit over newspaper if you can, just to keep the glue from sticking onto any of your work surfaces or furniture. And when you glue it on, what you want to do is you want to take a little piece of glue and attach it to the middle of your ribbon, and then that's going to go on the front of your jar to stick down. And then just put a nice strip of glue along one edge and fold it over and hold it like that to glue it on and let it dry. So I've got my hot glue gun here and my ribbon and my jar, and I'm turning that first piece of ribbon over, and I'm going to add a dot of glue into the center of the ribbon that you can see here. And then I'm going to place my jar down, and I'm going to find the middle of that jar and place that ribbon with the glue dot and hold it on into the center. I'm going to hold it on until it dries. Then I'm going to turn my jar over. I've placed a strip of glue down one edge and held that onto the glass jar, and I'm just going to do the second edge here. You can see I've got a strip of glue going down there, and I'm just going to fold that piece over as well and attach it overlapped onto the other piece of ribbon that's already stuck down. I'm going to hold it on there until it starts to dry so it can't move. So here again it's exactly the same idea. I've got my plain burlap ribbon this time, putting a dot of glue in the center of that one, and then I'm going to place that onto my jar in the center, just like before. So once you've turned the jar over and you've placed that first bit of burlap ribbon on with the glue in the middle, you're going to turn the jar over. And then we are going to be putting some glue down that edge, just like this. It's a little bit wobbly showing you this, trying to do it one-handed and hold the camera at the same time. But I'm just going to push that ribbon over with the glue on that side and hold it down to stick. And then we're going to take our glue and we're going to put it down the other edge. And then we're just going to fold that piece of burlap ribbon over
with glue on it and hold it down nice and firm until it's dried. Make sure it's quite tight when you pull the ribbon around, and then that's our ribbon ready on the jar. We're now going to take our little Christmas tree decoration. We're going to turn it over and put a little bit of glue on the back of it. And then we're going to pick that up and we're going to place it in the middle of our burlap ribbon and just hold it on until it dries as well. And this is what your finished jars will look like, ready to fill with whatever decorations you would like.
So to fill your lovely jar that you've decorated, you're going to need some dried flowers. And what I've got here is I have got Purple Sensation alliums that have finished flowering in the garden, and I've cut them in late summer before the worst of the weather got them, taken them inside and I've dried them off. So I've just basically put them in a vase in a room that's nice and dry and warm, and they're now thoroughly dry and ready to use. And what I'll do now is you need to spray them with something. Now I use Oasis floristry spray, and it comes in lots of different colours, and I tend to stick with gold and silver for Christmas time. So this one's brilliant silver, and I've used super silver as well. And I do this part outside. I spray them on a nice dry day outside where there's lots of ventilation, and I let them dry outside as well, and then I bring them into the house. And they'll last for years and years and years like that if you're careful with them. So I started spraying alliums 7 years ago when I started growing cut flowers, and I still use those as my Christmas decorations every year. You just need to store them in a nice cardboard box and put them away in a dry attic and get them out every Christmas. The great thing about alliums is that they're so versatile for using as Christmas decorations. So we're going to use some in vases today, but you can also take the stalks off, so just snip them with a pair of scissors, and then you can use it as a Christmas tree star or Christmas baubles on your Christmas tree, which looks really pretty as well.
We're now going to start putting our jar together. We've got some iron here, some alliums that we sprayed silver, some teasels, and we're ready to start adding them to our jar. So the first thing I'm going to put in is some arnagayam, and you can trim the stems to whatever length you like for going in your jar. You might want some different heights, so don't all trim them to the same length. I'm going to put a second piece of arnagayam in the other side to balance it out. Arnagayam is really quite quirky when it's sprayed silver. It kind of bends in different directions and can look really pretty in your jar. Add a third stem there. Things always look nice in jars in 3s or 5s, odd numbers. I'm going to put a Purple Sensation allium in. You could have all of one type of flower if you wanted to. You could have all arnagayam or all alliums. But I like to mix them up a little bit for a bit of variety. And the heads of alliums are often quite different sizes as well, so you can have some mini-headed alliums and you can have some much larger ones. Again, it'll depend on what size of jar you're using, what size of dried material you're going to put in there. These make really nice gifts as well, something completely different. If you're going around for dinner at somebody's house, then you can take this with you as a gift. That teasel looks nice in the middle there. I'm just going to add another allium on this other side to balance it out a bit. You can see it starting to come together now. It's really very pretty. Got a different type of arnagayam going in there on the right hand side. And here you are, here's our finished decoration. I hope you've enjoyed following along how to make this today and have fun making some of your own decorations at home.